A maintenance technician needs to inspect equipment above the production line. He puts on a full body harness, climbs onto the elevated platform, and prepares to move beyond the protected area. He believes he is safe because he is wearing a harness. But there's one serious problem. His fire protection system is not properly connected to suitable Anchorage. The TC manager immediately stops the job. Wearing a harness does not automatically protect you from fall. Effective work at height begins with proper planning, fall prevention, the correct equipment, and a safe system of work. In this video, we will explain what work at height means, the major hazards involved, the hierarchy of fall protection, how to select and use suitable access and fall protection equipment, common mistakes, drop object prevention, and why every work at height activity must include proper emergency and rescue planning. Work at height is work performed in a location where a person could fall from one level to another and suffer injury if adequate precautions are not taken. The danger is not determined only by how high someone is working. Open edges, floors openings, elevated platforms, scaffolds, ladders, roof, structures, and access to machinery can expose workers to serious fall hazards. Falling is not the only hazard. Workers may encounter unprotected edges, floor openings, unstable access equipment, fragile surfaces, unsuitable anchor points, poor housekeeping, adverse weather conditions, and falling tools or materials. A work at height may be exposed to fall, while people working below may be exposed to drop objects from the same activity. Before selecting a harness, ask a very important question. Can the work at height be avoided? If it cannot be avoided, the next priority is to prevent the workers from falling by using suitable collective protection such as properly designed platform or guardrails. Where a fall risk still remains, appropriate personal fall protection must be selected and used correctly. The objective is very simple. Avoid the exposure where possible, prevent the fall where practicable, and protect the workers where residual fall risk remain. Once the work at height has been identified, the next step is to plan the job properly. Before anyone leaves the ground, we need to assess the hazards, select the safe access method, verify equipment and personnel, establish controls for people below, and prepare for an emergency. Let's look at how work at height jobs should be prepared. Safe work at height begins before anyone leaves the ground. First, review the task and determine whether working at height can be avoided. If it cannot, assess the fall hazards, identify who may be exposed, select the safest method of access, and establish the required controls. The work should only begin when the risks have been properly assessed and the necessary precautions are in place. Once the work at height is necessary, complete the required safety planning. Review the risk assessment and job safety analysis, conduct the last-minute risk assessment at the actual work site, and obtain a permit to work where required by the applicable procedures. The document must reflect to actual job conditions, not simply be copied from the previous work. Selecting the correct access equipment is critical. A ladder should not automatically be chosen simply because it is convenient. Depending on the task, duration, work position, height, and surrounding conditions, a properly structured scaffold, protected platform, or suitable mobile elevating work platform may be provided for a safer working position. All work at height equipment must be inspected before use. Check ladders, scaffolds, platforms, harnesses, connectors, lanyards, lifelines, and other fall protection equipment for damage, deterioration, missing component, or other defects. Equipment that is defective, damaged, or unsuitable for the task must not be used. So work at height must be performed by the people who are trained, competent, and familiar with the equipment they are exposed to use. Workers must understand the hazards, access method, fall protection system, emergency arrangements, and the limitation of their equipment. Specialized equipment such as scaffold and mobile elevating work platforms are also required appropriate competent personnel. Work at height can also endanger people below. Tools, materials, boards, and equipment can fall from elevated work areas. Establish an exclusion zone, control access, secure loose materials, and use suitable tool retention system where required. Never allow people to work or walk unnecessarily beneath the overhead activities. Conditions can change during the job. Strong wind, rain, poor visibility, excessive heat, slippery surfaces, or inadequate lighting can make previously acceptable work unsafe. Environmental conditions must be monitored and the job must be stopped and reassessed whenever conditions exceed equipment limitation or the approved safe working criteria. Finally, plan for an emergency before the work begins. If personal fall arrest equipment is being used, simply calling emergency service is not a complete rescue plan. The team must know how a fallen or suspended worker will be reached and recovered safely. Rescue arrangements, equipment, trained personnel, communication, and access must be considered before exposure to fall hazards begin. The job has now been planned. The safest access method selected, equipment inspected, workers briefed, the area below controlled, and rescue arrangements confirmed. Now we can look at the controls that actually prevent a worker from falling and how personal fall protection should be used when a fall risk remains. The safest fall is the one that never happens. Whenever reasonably practicable, use collective protection that prevent workers from reaching an exposed edge or falling from the work area. Guardrails, properly structured working platforms, suitable scaffolds, and protected mobile elevating work platforms can provide protection without relying entirely on the individual work action. Personal fall protection systems do not all perform the same function. A restraint system is designed to prevent the worker from reaching a location where a fall can occur. A fall arrest system, on the other hand, is designed to stop worker after a fall has started. When personal fall protection is required, the equipment must be suitable for the task and used as a complete system. A full body harness must fit correctly and be inspected before use. Check the webbing, stitching, buckles, attachment points, labels, and other components for damage or deterioration. Never use defective fall protection equipment. A harness cannot protect you if it is connected to an unsuitable anchorage. The anchorage must be designed or approved for the intended fall protection system and positioned to minimize the potential fall distance and other hazards. Never connect to handrails, process piping, cable trays, temporary structures, or other convenient objects unless they have been specifically designed and approved for that purpose. When the worker requires continuous personal fall protection, the worker must remain protected while moving between positions. Suitable systems such as twin-leg energy-absorbing lanyard or other approved arrangements may be used where appropriate so that the worker does not become completely disconnected while exposed to a fall hazard. Another critical consideration is fall clearance. A fall arrest system needs sufficient distance to operate before the worker could strike the ground, equipment, or lower level. The location of the anchorage also matters. Connecting too far from one side can create a dangerous swing fall. The complete system must therefore be selected and planned for the actual work location. Mobile elevating work platform can provide a safer method of access for many tasks, but they must be operated by a trained and authorized personnel. Inspect the equipment before use, confirm stable ground conditions, maintain the required exclusion area, follow manufacturer's operating limits, and use specific fall protection for the particular equipment. Ladders should only be used when they are suitable for the task and conditions. Inspect the ladder before use, place it on a firm and stable surface, prevent unintended movement, maintain secure contact while climbing, and never overreach. Do not stand on prohibited steps or use a damaged or unsuitable ladder simply because it is convenient. Now, once work begins, the controls must remain effective. Keep platform clear, secure tools and materials, maintain the exclusion zone below, monitor environmental condition, and never modify scaffolds, guardrails, anchorages, or fall protection system without proper authorization. If conditions change, stop the work and reassess the risk. The correct equipment and fall protection system can save a life, but only when they are inspected, they are selected, and used correctly. Unfortunately, many work at height incidents begin with simple shortcuts. Let's look at the most common mistakes and how they can be prevented. One of the most dangerous mistakes is believing that wearing a harness alone provides fall protection. If the worker is exposed to a fall hazard and the required system is not correctly connected to a suitable anchorage, the harness cannot arrest the fall. Fall protection must be complete, correctly connected, and appropriate for the task. Never select an anchorage simply because it is convenient. Handrails, process piping, cable trays, and temporary structures may not be capable of supporting the forces generated during a fall. Use only anchorage points or systems that are suitable and approved for the intended fall protection application. Overreaching is another common cause of falls. Whether working from a ladder, scaffold, or elevated platform, do not stitch beyond the stable working position simply to save time. Stop the task, reposition the access equipment, and continue from safe position. Guardrails are designed to prevent falls, not to provide additional working height. Never stand on guardrails, mid-rails, boxes, drums, or improvised platforms to gain extra reach. Use suitable access equipment that allows the task to be performed from a protected working position. Work at height also creates hazards for everyone below. A small tool drop from an elevated position can cause serious injury. Secure tools and materials where required, maintain good housekeeping, establish an exclusion zone, and prevent unauthorized personnel from entering the drop zone. If a fall occurs and the worker is suspended in a fall arrest system, the emergency response must begin immediately. Raise the alarm, stop surrounding activities, and activate the planned rescue procedures. Do not create additional victims through an improvised rescue. The workers should be recovered by trained personnel using the planned rescue method and receive appropriate first aid and medical assessment. Let's review the complete process. Identify the work at height and determine whether it can be avoided. Assess the hazards and select the safest access method. Complete the required risk assessment and work planning. Inspect the equipment. Confirm competent personnel. Establish protection for the people below, and prepare the rescue arrangements. Prevent falls using collective protection wherever reasonably practicable. Where personal fall protection is required, use the correct system and approved anchorage. Monitor the work throughout the activity and stop and reassess whenever conditions change. Remember these key principles. Avoid work at height where reasonably practicable. Prevent falls before relying on fall arrest. Select the correct access equipment. Inspect the equipment before use. Use suitable and approved anchorage systems. Protect people below from the drop objects. Monitor changing conditions, and always have a workable rescue plan before exposures begin. Work at height does not become safe simply because a worker is experienced or wearing a harness. Safety comes from eliminating unnecessary exposure, preventing falls wherever possible, selecting the correct equipment, using fall protection properly, and preparing for the emergencies before the job begins. Every shortcut at the height increases the potential consequences of a mistake. Thank you very much for watching Safety with Zahid. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with your colleagues. Stay safe, work smart, and remember, avoid the fall, prevent the fall, and protect the workers.